Hey everyone, it's Matt from Casually Crafted 3D, and I'm here with another model kit. So here is, I was able to get Steel Haze. Holy cow, it took forever for me to get this one, because it seems like everybody wanted this kit. I mean, everybody likes Rusty, so, understandable. But this is number 2 in their kit behind, or in their 30-minute mission line behind Nightfall. I did really like a Nightfall, so I have high hopes for this one. I've heard some things with like the knees kind of weird on this, so we'll see. I'll take a look at it. But yeah, I wanted to show off the front of the box. Obviously, this is some really nice art. I believe from when you first see him on like Wall Climber, you can see with like some snow or something in the background. So that's really cool. Down here, looking at the side, some nice shots. And I'm gonna say right now, that face, oh my god, did they do a disservice to Rusty's face? Because, like, look, it's supposed to be, like, super sharp and angular, and I hate safety flags, but man, he looks like a duck. What did they do? Like, that's all boxed off. I'm going to have to probably shave down a lot of plastic to make that look how it should. So I haven't even opened the box yet, and I know that's going to look ugly. So we'll see. Side, really nice. Back, same thing. I love that they're continuing this, where they have all the different weapon arrays and showing you like kind of like how in the game. And they've even got like the little icons here for like Schneider stuff and for Boss, the producer of the Ransetsu and the Sampu. Pretty nice. I like that. But yeah, so let's open her up and take a look at what we got. So, yep, same thing as Steel Haze. It looks like here we got the parts for the arms, torso, parts for the head here. So they've got the little cutoffs here for the mold. So kind of confirming what I thought. They're going to make these like separatable for their molds and release different versions. So that'll be pretty cool. Here we are for the missile launcher. There's a huge piece here for the blades. Damn, I wonder how big that's going to be. There's a hanger. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Are they only going to give us one hanger? That'd be kind of a bummer. If we only get the one for the one side. I mean, that would kind of make sense. They did the same thing for Nightfall. There's the Sampu. Laser slicer. I like that blue. I like that blue color. Alright. In here. Alright, we got some pretty nice effect parts. Those look pretty cool. All the different parts. So sweet. That's going to be nice. That's an interesting color there. Kind of like a khaki-ish type of brown color. That's kind of like a greenish brown. Weird. Alright, I don't know what that is. I don't speak that language, I'm sorry. Google Translate. Figure it out later. Looks like we got the same kind of 30-minute missions advertisement. Yeah, it's the exact same one that was in Nightfall. The nice backgrounds. So, same thing as the other one. And then we have the instruction manual here. So cool. I like this. I kind of want to just keep that as like a poster. That'd be really nice. I just love that, how they have it all sectioned out. Again, advertising some of the different weapons that you got. And like I said, yep, they all fit. All the different parts are going to fit on the hangers. That's really sweet. And here we have the Scudder that came with Nightfall. So I'll put it together and I'll show how he looks with all those later on. But, yep, there's your instructions. Pretty standard stuff. So yeah, so I'll get them tossed together and I'll see how he looks. And here he is, all put together. So, unfortunately, I like this one less, which is a darn shame. I'll go over why here in a bit. But he's just not he's not as stable as Nightfall, I'll say first and foremost. So a little disclaimer here: I have made a bit of modifications to this due to a few issues that I have with it, which I'll leave credits and stuff in the description to the people that found solutions to these issues. But I mean, here he is. Just get a good look at him on the turntable. You do, just like Nightfall, you get the same sticker sheets with his nice emblems, his arquebus emblems. And then we have a separate little hand plate here for his hand if you wanted to swap this out for one of the more detailed parts, because the hand plate actually does have a peg that goes all the way through for the melee weapons. So I'll show that here in a little bit. And then you get a really nice big piece here for his laser slicer. Really cool. So that's everything you get in the box, is what you see here. He's super light, super light. Like Nightfall was like way heavier than this. I mean, obviously it's a lightweight AC, so it makes sense, but he's like super light. But yeah, I did do exactly what I said I was going to do in the unboxing. I shaved down his head, like his, I kind of wish I would have just left it so then I could show you how bad it looked. But man, the flags on that face were terrible. Made him look like a duck. So I trimmed down that to kind of sharpen it up a bit, and my camera is just not cooperating. There we go. To kind of make his head look a little bit more like it did in the game. But yeah, detail is incredible. I thought that the detail on Nightfall was good. Like this is absolutely incredible. Kind of like an RG Gundam kit. The amount of detail that is on this thing, it's just nuts. As far as color separation and stuff, this thing's gonna be pretty easy to paint. With just all the different parts, just take them apart and paint them the different colors that it needs to be. But there's some accuracy stuff with like some just straight up missing articulation here in the legs, which is just pretty kind of disappointing. But I guess you can only achieve so much at something this size and something so thin. But I'll talk about that more when we get to articulation. But I guess we'll take a look at each individual part here, and unfortunately it has the same problem with Nightfall, which I guess is going to end up getting rectified with another kit or something they're going to release, where the weapons are only for certain sides. So like this one here, the Sampu, this the little charging handle here for the bolt, it's supposed to be on the other side for the other hand, but you can't rotate them around. So this is specifically for the right hand. Oddly enough, the back weapon here, the plasma missile launcher, this one you can make ambidextrous. You can put it on the other side. All that you have to do is this little part right here. I've tested it. You just have to take it out of this post, and then this part here, all you have to do is turn it around the other side. So you can put that on the other side. So I guess that's just a part of the design. So that one you can put on the other side. Also, this weapon mount here is actually different from the one that's on Nightfall. So this block up here is actually extended on this one. The one on Nightfall is shorter. So these are actually different. It's like a raised part to get over the Nachtreicher arms. I think I pronounced that right. So that is different. And then the part that I was actually really excited about, the hangers. So these hangers are really cool. They have the same locks here, so you can lock them in place if you want them straight down, or I like to have them angled. But there's a little bit more going on here than I thought there would be, and I'll go ahead and take it off and show. So all of the weapons do fit on this hanger. So like there's the Rensetsu, and I think the Rensetsu is ambidextrous too, I think. So that one's ambidextrous, or that's universal. So this one you can put it on either side. But that's really cool. How it has that little slot. But these little claws here, they're actually on rails, so you can close them like that, and they'll fit different sized weapons, which is really, really smart. So so they have to be like opened. These little arms here have to be opened all the way for it to fit the Rensetsu on. So that's really cool. I mentioned it in the unboxing though. They only give us one, which kind of sucks. I kind of wish that there was one for the other side. That's kind of a bummer. So I'm assuming that that's going to be included in some weapon kit later on down the line. But that sucks that we don't have two of these. If we had one for either side, you could do some pretty cool stuff with that. But as of this time, with just these models that are out right now, you only get the one. So that's a little unfortunate. But the laser slicer here, which does rotate and spin, by the way, same thing. So you can take the laser slicer off here, and you can put that with that little slot. You can put that on the hanger as well. Really nice. And this is that nice kind of gummy plastic too. So you can just swap those in and out however often you want. Same thing with the shampoo. So let's I guess let's talk about the accessories. Obviously, I mean, I already had it off, so I might as well show you. He can hold this. This one just slides right into the hand, so he can hold that just fine. And then obviously when you have either nothing in the hand or you have the rifle, it has different hand plates here for this. So you can swap that out to get rid of that unsightly hole. But you also get, obviously, the deployed laser slicer. Now, in order to make this work, you actually do have to take this part off. So you have to remove that from the mounting plate. And then this goes not here on the back one, it goes all the way on the front slot here. And then you have his slicer that you can put in his hand like that, and that looks freaking awesome. That looks awesome. I like that a lot. And it rotates here too, so that's really cool. Really cool. So there's his accessories. So now we're gonna get to the part which I have problems with this guy. Let me angle this down a little bit more. So the articulation and overall kind of stability. He's kind of hard to get into position where I want him in. I think it's just kind of the design of the feet. It's just kind of how it is. But there's some articulation here that is I don't really know how to change it, but I guess we'll just go over all of it, and when we get to the issues, I'll explain. So up here, I mean, same articulation as how Nightfall has it. We got a joint here and a joint here, so you can, all that can move here, that locks in. But we got a joint here and here, so you can rotate those, position that however you want. Like the hanger, like I mentioned, it just rotates here or it locks in. The head, same thing, same issue as Nightfall. That's a circular peg that this goes on, and then the head is on a ball joint. So sometimes when you rotate it, yeah, see there? It rotated the actual bottom part instead of using the ball joint at all. Didn't even use the ball joint. So sometimes it'll just kind of get stuck in a wonky position. I wish that was a square-shaped peg, so that didn't happen. Head can move forwards about that far, down about that far, side to side just a little bit, and it rotates quite a bit. Obviously the head's super freaking tiny, so it it has a lot of motion there. Another thing I forgot to mention on Nightfall is the boosters back here. The boosters back here like this, they're actually on ball joints, so you can move those however you want them to. And then let's go with the arms. So here's my first bit of disappointment here. These hands are not articulated at all. They're entirely stationary. There's no wrist movement, doesn't rotate, nothing at all. There is no posing at all with these hands. And it's not that bad until you try to get like a sideways pose or something. You can't rotate the hands at all. They're actually attached all the way up here into the wrist. And even to like swap out the weapons, you can't just like remove the hand like I did with Nightfall and then swap out the parts. You have to actually remove everything while it's attached to the hand. So like the fingers come off separate from this, but that's attached to the arm. So it's a little disappointing there. So even if I was gonna make a replacement parts for the hands, like for example, I was complaining about the kind of toyish look of the hands here. It would be a pain in the butt to do so because the hands really aren't replaceable, which is a shame. I'm not a fan of that. But the hands actually don't have the same issue as Nightfall because of the design, so the arms can move all the way back, so you can get straight out. Very nice, very very nice. They also go pretty far forward. Well, not that far forward. It's about 90 degrees because there's only one joint here. You got a rotation here above the bicep, and same thing as Nightfall. You have this brown part here is separate from that brown part, so that moves, and then the shoulder here is attached to this brown part here, so it moves independently. Now we get to the second issue. See that? Be careful. Be very, very careful with this, because I'm going to go ahead and just kind of gently take this arm off to show you and hopefully not break it. I just lost that. So this part here, yeah, you see a problem there? This ball joint is really tight in that shoulder, and it's attached to that thin little piece of plastic right here. And I haven't stressed that yet, but I can see that breaking very easily if you go to move the arm in a wrong way. Let me see if I can find that shoulder part. Okay, so the shoulder part went flying across the room. I'm surprised the distance it got just from falling off the table. But yeah, just be very careful with this ball joint because it does sit pretty recessed inside this arm. And you saw just from me moving it, that's just that little bit. You see how it starts to come off? And that I can see being prone to breakage. So be very careful. Like even with rotating it, there's a lot of, yeah, see that? There's a lot of resistance here. That's breakage waiting to happen. I would glue that if I were you. Just be careful. So down to the torso. Unfortunately, you'd think that with all of this going on up here, there would be a joint, but there is not. There's no joint at all. That's all stationary. Maybe a good or bad thing, seeing how tiny it is, but I think they could have worked something in there. So the actual waist part here, it's on a ball joint just like Nightfall, so it moves any which way you want it to. And we get down to the legs. Let's actually go down to the feet first. So these things are a little delicate. Obviously they're so tiny and thin where they mount, but there's a joint here which allows you forward to back quite a bit. You've got a little joint, a post here, so that you can get a good ankle rock. Pretty good. And then it's basically just disappointment for the rest of the leg. So you'd think joint here, joint here, joint here, right? Wrong. The only joint you get's right here. And that's for like the whole leg. So it moves back that far into this recessed section here, and then it moves forwards that far. That's it. That's all you get. It's a shame that they couldn't work something into here. I mean, I can see why, because it's really thin, but I mean, it is what it is. The fins here are on a joint right there and a joint right here. So you can rotate the fins however you want them, and they can also kind of extend and go in a little bit here. So that's kind of nice. I kind of wish they would be able to like splay in and out just for different poses, but they can't because they're attached on posts here. So you can't like splay them out unless you want to bend that plastic. So that's a little unfortunate. And then up here at the hips, it has something a little different than Nightfall did. So it just kind of posts in there, and then there's a single ball joint right there, which I think is plenty. I think that is plenty of motion there. So that's all you get for his articulation. Not the greatest, not the worst. I've definitely seen worse. But now we're going to talk about something that I did to improve this. And full credit, well, most credit, about 90% of the credit goes to a Reddit user. I can't remember his name, but I'll link that in the description to where he found a way, he or she found a way where you can upgrade the knees, and you can actually give him the knees that he's supposed to have. And I have done that on this kit, but I made a separate little 3D modeled piece that I put up for free on my Colts account. So basically what that entails, and I'm going to go ahead and just snap them in half here, is these parts here are actually separate from these parts. So there totally could have been a knee incorporated into this part like he does in the game. So what this guy found out is that if you shave off a little bit of plastic here and a little bit of plastic here, and you kind of cut this little section out right here, you have room to put a joint in there, which I have. So this gray plastic here is the part that I designed, that you can just kind of hollow out this section here, and there's actually little ports. There's little posts that you can put those in with like not all that much modification to get this. His knees. Now you have his knees, and that's how it's supposed to look like in the game, because they're only supposed to be like kind of like down like that when he's standing, you know, when he's just sitting there. But when he's flying and stuff, the knees are actually down like this. It's just a little thing that I think really improves the way that the legs look. So yeah, that little addition there, I think makes his legs look a little bit more dynamic. So that ends up fixing quite a lot. So thank you to the person that figured that out and thought to post that on Reddit, because I think that it really does improve the look of Steel Haze. So I'll leave all the links to that in the description. I made a pretty in-depth post on how to modify it. If you want to try to tackle that on your own, like I said, the parts are available for download for free if you have a 3D printer, or if you don't have a 3D printer and you just want to try the parts and you need them sent to you, just send me a message. I'll probably I'll put them together and I'll send them to you. But yeah, just wanted to include that in the review because I've already done it. All right, and let's do some size comparisons. Now I actually do have another one of these kits to show him next to. So here he is next to the other one I've been talking about a lot, Nightfall. There he is next to Nightfall, and I'm actually surprised. I know that he's Rusty Steel Haze is a lightweight, but he's quite a bit smaller than Nightfall. So that's interesting, but yeah, super small, lightweight compared to the other release that we have here. So very cool. I cannot wait for more of these things to come out. I will be buying every single one of these as they come out, let me tell you. And here, just because I did it for the first video, I'll show them next to some of my kits. Again, all of these models are available for you to buy on my Etsy and my eBay. So here he is next to the combat vehicle, the Boss combat vehicle. Here he is next to a helicopter, one of the Boss attack helicopters. Here he is next to a aerial defense drone. Here he is next to one of my guard mech kits. Here he is next to my Boss bipedal MT kit. And here he is next to the Pulse Shield Ghost. There's your scale. All right, so final thoughts. I do recommend it. I mean, it's a really good kit. It has some really tiny pieces. And some of the engineering, like on the upper arms, that's a bit scary. I would expect that to break if you're not prepared. If you're not prepared for it, and you go twisting that, and you just shear that right off that ball joint. So be very careful. Stability-wise, I mean, it's okay. I think that just the design of the legs and the feet lead it to be kind of weird to pose how you want to. But I feel like if you have these, you're probably going to have them on display bases anyways. Yeah, I really like the way that the hangers are, and I love the extra part for the laser slicer. This is really cool. But there just a few things here that are keeping me from giving this like a 10 out of 10. Like I said, if you want the leg parts here, you just message me. I can send them to you. The actual the download for the parts, if you want to make them yourself, I'll put those in the description. Just to, it does help rectify what I think, his stance. I think that he looks a lot better standing this way with his legs extended like this. But yeah, I think it's decent. I mean, I'm still I was a little disappointed in this one compared to Nightfall. That's just kind of a personal thing. But I'm still very much looking forward to the other kits that they're going to be putting out, just because they look fantastic. They look incredible. I can't wait to put some paint on this and make him look just like he does in the game, because the detail, just like a black wash over it's going to look really cool. But yeah, there's Steel Haze. If you watch this far in the video, I really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate if you leave comments, like, subscribe, check out all my socials. I'll put those linked in the description, so you can see all the updates and stuff. Because like I said, I am going to be making addition parts for all this. I'm going to be making parts that are be able to put on the hanger and the hands and back weapons and stuff. So those will be coming soon, and I may have already made a few. So just keep an eye out. Check out my socials, and you can learn about that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.